buru anyị wee bịa njem na Amerịka. Anyị bịa ka ibe leta nwanne anyị nwoke bụ nna anyị n'obodo a. Bụ onye anyị nwụrịla anya na nchekwube na eziokwu nke ya nwa na onye ji guzo. Na eziokwu a ga na-edu ụmụ Biafra na-aga n'ihu. Ọ ga na-edu IPOB na-aga n'ihu. Anyị bịara n'ụlọ ya nabata anyị. Were obi ọcha na obi udo wee nabata anyị. Anyị na-asị na ọ ga-adịrị ya na mma na ezinụlọ ya na mma. Anyị na-asị na ihe ọbụla anyị chọrọ bịa mere ka anyị ga-enwetarịrị ya. N'ihi na ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu mgbe ị na-ewu n'ọnwụ ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ. Nwa mmụọ emegbula nwa mmadụ, nwa mmiri emegbula nwa mmụọ. Ihe anyị na-ekwu. Anyị na-asị na Biafra ga-abịara na ndụ na-awụghị n'ọnwụ. Anyị ga-eri uru ọmụmụ. Anyị ga-eri uru akụ na ụba n'ime Biafra. Anyị na-asị na onye ọwụla pụtara na sị na Biafra agaghị adị, onye ahụ agaghị adị. Anyị anaghị asị emebere ugo obere nke si bebere ka ya gosi nke ọ ga-ebe. Anyị na-asị na nkụ ga-ekwe ọ ga-edo ọ ga-anwụ. Ọ bụ eziokwu ka anyị ji na-aga njem a. Ọ bụ ịhụnanya ka anyị ji na-aga ofu obi. Anyị na-asị onye ọbụla hụrụ eziokwu jide eziokwu aka, n'ihi na ọ bụ eziokwu bụ ndụ, ọ bụghị okwu asị. Anyị na-asị na ọ ga-ada anyị niile na mma. Anyị ga-ahụ echi n'ihi na echi anaghị agwụ agwụ. Anyị na-arịọ Chukwu okike abịa ma ka onye anyị ndụ nye anyị ahụ isi ike, nye anyị ngọzi nke ya, nye anyị ịhụnanya. Ekpere niile ka anyị na-ekpe ọwụ ka onye bi n'ime eluigwe ka o wee nụrụ olu anyị, wee gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka, wee zọpụta anyị na akpa niile nke na-akpa anyị nke bụ Biafra. Anyị na-asị na ikpete maazụ anyị ga-enye aha nsọ otuto na nsọpụrụ na eji ama site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi.
Ọmadike Biafra.
Nigeria has recruited Islamic State fighters into their military, police, and other forces to continue the holy war of Islam against indigenous people, and Biafra government in exile can't sit back and watch Nigeria state kill Biafra unchallenged. Therefore, the government which uses force to support its rules teaches the oppressed to use force to oppose it. We will continue to justify our decision to engage in sabotaging and hostility against terrorists in uniform until they are withdrawn completely from Biafra territory from the 14 United States of Biafra.
I am not a pushover, and I believe Nigeria have seen that. If you think that Simon Ekpa is somebody you can push over, then you don't know me. I am here to end Tinubu. I am here to end Nigeria. I am here to end the Usman Danfodio legacy. I will end it. The people who have ended it in their different countries doesn't have to head. I am going to be more than any of all those people who have fought freedom, including Gandhi. I am here to be more than Gandhi. Gandhi did not even fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. Nelson Mandela did not fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. And so I brought out myself, I'm well cooked for this particular freedom. So anybody thinking that Simon Ekpa is going down, you don't know what is coming. You still have a long way to go. I will be here to finish this job, and by December, I will issue a declaration for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra, and the flag of Biafra will rise very, very high all over the world. That day, every liaison office all over the world of Biafra will rise the Biafra flag very, very high. We will raise it very, very high from homeland to all over the world. And then after that, the diplomatic battle will begin for recognition.
This is the Biafra national anthem.
Seven rows, 14 rows, 21 rows. I love to go. One, beat.
We are going to do wonders. I want you all to understand that we are in a very big battle. Battle for freedom is not for lily-livered people. It's not for kids. Battle for freedom, they throw bombs, rockets for people to get freedom. So freedom is not meant for people that are too emotional. It's not meant for people that, somebody will talk this and talk that and they begin to shiver. No. I am born for Biafra to come. And I'm going to help Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get Biafra. Believe me. Go and mark today's date. I want to assure Biafrans, so long as you continue to stand on your freedom, I will be there for you. So long as you continue to maintain that you have a right to live, I, Simon Ekpa, will be there any day, anytime.
Welcome, Biafrans, wherever you are joining us from. I appreciate every one of you for being part of this program. Today is Sunday, and today we are bringing you another section of the program, which is Sunday Devotion on Restoration of Biafra. Today is the 5th day of the 30 days lockdown. The Biafra Republic of Nigeria is winning on all fronts. If you don't know that the government is winning, check around you. Look around things that are happening before you. We are going to bring you some programs, and we're going to play you some videos that is going to blow your mind, that will take your mind where we are going. There are a lot of things that is happening, and it is unfortunate that we woke up and we saw that there are some people who call themselves for Hanes Ndo Hinandu Ndam, and they are calling for prayers in Igbo land. I don't know the kind of prayer they are calling for, when the Bible itself said prayer without work, it is a waste of time. They have not done any work, and they are not ready to do anything. All they do is to continue to push their lies and propaganda. And today we woke up and we saw in their daily posts, it reports. The daily post said, Igbo Day Prayer. Ohaneze calls on Ndi Igbo to seek God intervention. These are a bunch of clowns and criminals who has nothing to offer. They are asking for God intervention. God has intervened for a very long time by giving us our supreme leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and they connived and kidnapped him. God answered the prayer of the Biafran when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was born, and he took up the responsibility of protecting Biafra. Even when they kidnapped him, God still went ahead to answer prayer by giving us our supreme leader Simon, giving us our prime minister Simon Ekpa. Today, Master Simon Ekpa is an answered prayer, completely answered prayer. And if you are not listening to him or following him, I don't know what is your faith. I don't know what you are following. I don't know what you believe. There is no way you can be fighting the answers to the prayer and you are still asking for answer. You are fighting the prayer that Chukwu Okike have answered. And yet, after fighting that prayer, you are coming out to say that we should pray. Pray with who? Pray with who? You are wasting your time. The Biafrans have made their choice, and that is why more than 50 million voted, and they support the movement out of the Zoological Republic. You heard our Prime Minister announce it. He called this mass exodus of Biafrans from the Zoological Republic, and that mass exodus is on. That is the only way to follow. Any idiot calling for any prayer is a waste of time. There is no amount of prayer that you can pray that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has not made. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu made, if prayer can be able to give you freedom, give you safety and security, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu single-handedly will do that. He prayed and prayed and prayed and has not stopped praying up to now. So do not pay attention to these criminals who call themselves Ohaneze Ndu Hinandala, who can deny their own at every given opportunity. They denied Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And recently, not only Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they denied our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa, and they again denied our son in Canada, our daughter in Canada, Amaka. And they will deny you that is watching me, they will still deny you. If you're not careful, stay away from them. If you don't stay away from them, they are going to deny you. Don't think they are going to follow you. They will deny you again and again. You better listen to the gospel that is coming from the Biafran government. That is the only way our faith, our hope, and trust lies. If you don't know that the zoo have ended, I want you to know that and know peace.
Nobody is talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to fake independence
to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. And we will question it with gun, we will question it with bomb, we will question it with civility, we will question it diplomatically, and we will question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. They will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years, after that we decide.
That we respect that. What people, most commentators don't appreciate about Africa, and which most Africans are a bit slightly uncomfortable with, is that somebody coming from Europe and without regard for your culture, your traditions, your way of life, saying you are now in one country and your name is Nigeria.
Right.
There is something unnatural about it.
Yes.
I said to the British government, if you had come, conquered my people, which is a natural human process, that is entirely natural.
Right.
If you had come, conquered our people, made us English, I can live with that.
Yeah.
But to come and hand over a children of God over to something completely alien, this same culture that we have in the north, which is an Islamic culture,
challenge to Musa the terrorist. Can your Musa do it?
Why they are busy pushing their propaganda against Biafra, why they are busy in their various platforms talking against our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. The Janjaweed, the terrorist is running over them. The terrorist is taking over Nigeria completely. The northern Nigeria is gone. The northern Nigeria is gone. And every blessed day, the terrorists continue to advance and take over northern Nigeria. But because the government of Nigeria today is the government of the terrorists, they do not care. They allow them to take over the northern part of Nigeria, and many people are losing their life in numbers. There are video evidence to every single thing I'm saying, just that I cannot be able to play most of the videos on YouTube because we are not allowed. But if you want to get evidence to every single thing I'm saying, make sure you follow our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa on Twitter. When you go to Twitter, you are going to see things that are happening, unbelievable things that are happening. And I bet you will realize that the only way forward for us is to continue to mount pressure to get out of the zoological republic called Nigeria, because that is the only option left. There is nothing else anyone can do or say except to walk out of the zoo. There is no two ways about it. The earlier every one of us understand this fact, the better for all of us. And that is why today we thank Chukwu Gabiano for somebody like Mazi Simon Ekpa, who has taken it upon himself to fight earnestly for the restoration of Biafra against all odds, with all their propaganda and blackmail, he was never deterred. And while they are pushing their blackmails and propaganda in the northern part of Nigeria, I am going to show you just a short clip of what is happening. The terrorists are taking over, running over their so acclaimed military that they said are strong. The terrorists are taking over their arms. Just what you saw that happened in Afghanistan is happening in the northern part of Nigeria. What happened in Afghanistan, where the United States ran away and left their armories for the enemies? That is what is happening in the northern part of Nigeria. You see why Biafran territory must be protected. And if you're not supporting Biafran Republic of Exile, I am sorry for you. If you are from the old southeastern region and you are not supporting the Biafran government, you don't know what is coming. I want to share this short clip for you to understand and have a clue of what I'm talking about. I am not going to play all the video because of the restrictions. I'm just give you a tip of it. If you want to get the full video, you can go to the platform for Prime Minister on Twitter and you will see things that will blow your mind. Let's watch a brief.
والجهاد بإذن الله تعالى الله أكبر هذا فلو والجهاد الله أدرتامو تاغوتا نيجيريا من كايسو الله أكبر والجهاد بإذن الله تعالى الله أكبر تاغوتا نيجيريا الله أدرتامو الله أكبر.
What you saw there is the terrorist group taking over the northern part of Nigeria. And what you saw them standing on is the APC armored vehicle of Nigeria. The ragtag terrorists are taking over the armored personnel carrier of Nigeria. And this is how they hand over the north to them. They willingly hand them over weapons and everything. The same thing you saw play out in other places is still playing out today in Nigeria. You are going to see more. If you are a Biafran and you have not really come to your senses, I don't know when you're going to come to your senses. These people are ready to run over the northern part of Nigeria, and your government cannot help you because your government is the one sponsoring them. Nigerian government is a terrorist government. They continue to equip and give these people everything they need to invade. But Biafran territory have become the only place that cannot be able to enter. Biafran territory is the only place that is very difficult for them to get into. They are trying as much as they can to get into Biafra land. They cannot. That is why today the terrorist government by themselves are bringing them down to Biafra land in uniform, disguising in uniform. If not for the presence of the Liberation Army under the command of our Prime Minister, who has stopped them. A lot of these idiots that are calling for prayer today will have been in IDP camp. These politicians who are driving in big cars and messing up will have been in IDP camp and their families. But the Liberation Army have given them the defense that is giving them the morale to talk rubbish online. But the time has come. In as much as we cannot deny our own, if you make yourself a willing tool in the hand of the terrorists, we are going to treat you like one of them. We are going to treat you like one of them. The northern part of Nigeria today is being run over, and they are planning to come down for Biafra. And the only fear is that the Liberation Army of Biafra is formidable. They know they can't stand the Liberation Army. That is why today they are using the Nigerian terrorist military to fight against us. And I want to show you more clip on the plans and preparation that is going in northern part of Nigeria.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wi tedde lo wadani nul Allah e nulaado be neno laara ci ko teddudo neno heferbe koyi dum be hoyni heferbe kambe sahababe e famdude jatede fu daabaji durat kono jobe be heferbe jombe garat be mbaram be wude jam nyalla wal hay alhamdulillah ani noy goruden hande imbaran heferbe galten lelede men do daano de innodata ke bilani ko katan kan ko hala ko wala neno alhamdulillah tinnade sakiram neɗɗo fu jiɗɗo Allah yaafo ɗum fu himmire jihaade soobo e haɓaade hawri e heefere fu hokka yonkim wallahi ñande ñalaanema wara e mayta nen alhamdulillahi annabijo sallallahu alih w sallam gorko goɗɗo wari e makko wi min mi yehi ladde mi yii nokkure lobbere ɗo ladde woodi koyɗe ngala toon ndiyam no woodi toon cukku no woodi toon ɓiɓɓe leɗɗe gon toon nami yiɗi mbiya toon jewɗomo rewa Allah faɗɗuma en kam yiya yimɓe fe sakko annaɓe tawi sakko ko humbit ɗum nulaaɗo fof ɗum nulaaɗo wi o ala tuhibbuna an yaghfira Allahu lakum wa yudkhilukum aljanna yalla on jiɗa Allah yaafa on watta on aljanna na o wi miɗen jiɗ o wi ukhzu fi sabilillah on e saabe Allah ɗum e rewtin ɗon man qatala fi sabilillahi fawaqa naqa wajabat lahu aljanna neɗɗo kaɓiɗo saabi Allah alqadar ɓiranne ennu naggena ngeeloɓe yejjo ɓira kadi ɗum tan kaɓiɗo saabi Allah ɗum aljanna wajibanake Allah tirfini aljanna nan alhamdulillah sakiraɓe annabijo sallallahu alih w sallam o lamdama ɗumen jihaadi o wi an tuqatila al kuffara ida laqitahum so a hawri heefa ɗum kaɓa makko nan alhamdulillah sakiraɓe ɗo zunuba yaafete ɗo ɓural heɓete ɗo teddengal aduna heɓete ɗo sariya Allah ñiiɓata saabe wolde nde gonɗen e mum joni nan alhamdulillahi hakkude ɗo e to jaaten to so e palol naɗɗen so tampiri tampude ɗi jaata yaade ɗomɗata ɗon ko illa sowona Allah subahanahu wa taala windana en baraji ma nan alhamdulillahi Allah subahanahu wa taala wi yalle anon gonɗimi Allah tindinta on jaago mono hinon jukkugo nago na si yimɓe mbi way hono mumunen Allah fo kawriti min naam Allah tindini ko mumunen Allah fo mbi noon ɗum Allah wi ɗum won ɗume gonɗinon Allah mbi on la ilaha illallah tawi e werɗe moɗon caggal on mbi noon kaɓoɗon e laawol Allah kokkon yonkimo woɗi kokkon jawle moɗon so on gaɗini ko Allah subahanahu wa taala yaafo on zunubaji moɗon nanna on aljanna ñiiɓal nenno wa ukhra tuhibbuna ha ɗume nasru min Allah wa fathun qarib wa bassiril mu'minina pienkaji maɓɓe ndiwen ɓe egga ɓe jappa leydi ndi yaaje foy woɓɓe men fof keɓa fayɗo ndema nenno pien heeferɓe ndilla e daaɗe men ɗe laaten ahraran lillahi e ndimɓe saabi Allah subahanahu wa taala fay goto maray en nenno annabijo sallallahu alih w sallam o wi e o nuli sahaba e makko ni Mus'ab ibn Umayr ko o nulata heeferɓe ƴami yalle ɗum e annabaji mon warde o wi minen min nulama faamin jaltide yimɓe e rewde e maccuɓe ɓe garta e rewde joom maccuɓe ɗum won rewde Allah subahanahu wa taala nenno alhamdulillahi faamin jaltina yimɓe e ɓillade aduna min jaaraɓo faade ɓillitade aduna woodi e laakara fof nenno alhamdulillah sakiraɓe wolde jihaadi illa annabaji nula fa hande ka fay muɗum kiine heddi mo Allah subahanahu wa taala muyani ɓural ko o ronata ka fay ki mo Allah muyani sahata ko oɗo ronata ka fay ki mo Allah muyani tariki waɗe jantede e tarikeji lobbi fof on ronata ka fay annabaji woɗɗe sahabaɓe mum alhamdulillah sakiraɓe Allah subahanahu wa taala o heddanayi en ɗo majje feydi Allah subahanahu wa taala en feydi nen so neɗɗo soninaki yeehi laakara fof hujja walana on to Allah feydi nen alhamdulillahi inan ɓuuri jihaade no keewi e Qur'an inan ɓuuri jihaade no keewi e hadis annabijo sallallahu alih w sallam no jihaadi foti laatade ko ɓuru no jihaadi foti forde heɓa taben ceddo ɗum waɗi Allah subahanahu wa taala waɗi alamaji kewɗi gilla aduna gurnam nuna yimɓe fu jii ɗin ɗon alamaji gadi ɗum won hoyɗuɓe koyɗi lobbi keeɓi sahadaako won hoyɗuɓe koyɗi lobbi mbiyani woɓɓe ne goni e aljanna hey faa nulaaɗo sallallahu alih w sallam laatake orngal jihaadi so goɗɗo waray nde o konti goɗɗo ma o hatti goɗɗo waray fof nde o ñanguinoyde on waɗa faama on ɗon ɓuuri yidde yimɓe nen alhamdulillah sakiraɓe sahabaɓe ɗum ɓe keɓanno de mbiya ɓe beeli koye ɗum ɓe keɓande mbiya fayda wona million ji de wona nayyi de wona motere lobbel wona moɓel lobbel de ɗum ɓe keɓanno de mbiya weliɓe annabi sallah sallam itti yimɓe faake wi andina woɓɓe diine ɓe jeeyi marko heɓe tibbi mbaɗi ɓe tubaɓe timmi heddi neɗɗo goto woɓɓe mbaɗa jowa dow makko timmi heefere mi jeeya fi neɗɗo cakitiɗo waɗede ko kuuɗal yiwa ɗo makko fayantiri gaɗa ga noyi o wi fustu wa rabbil kaaba mi faydake mi honanake Allah subahanahu wa taala mi heeɓi fayda timmi nenno ɗum sahaba faydatonake waɗede saabe Allah barminede saabe Allah haɓude e heeferɓe sino yeeƴata ko faaliɓe annabijo sallallah sallam o wi neɗɗo fof kawruɗo heeferɓe so o yeeƴaki sakkal huccite maɓɓe noon haabo faafa o liɓiɗo noon ko oɗo Allah subahanahu wa taala ne jalanamo so Allah jalani neɗɗo tan goɗɗo nen alhamdulillahi sakiraɓe tinnoɗen gonɗanen Allah wallay jeeɓe ɗabutuji kawroje en fini en gonɗani Allah en pelliti wadde ta qaddam wallay a matta kulol majje ɓeydi alhamdulillahi Allah kam jeeyi kulol Allah kam jeeyi cuusat Allah kam jeeyi mayde kam jeeyi gurnam fini ñalane ma waɗi a maaya fayti gonɗa toye Allah subahanahu wa taala wi faydi ngon on dow soroji ɓurdi futorde to mayde waɗi tan on datta mayde nen alhamdulillahi tinnoɗen anniya lobbo anniya ɗum e wana mo jarra.
What you just saw here is the gathering of the terrorists in the Zoological Republic. You see the terrorists assembling themselves, making their strategies on how to push their crazy ideas, trying to take over Nigeria, but the government care and don't care about these people. You saw the assembling of the terrorists from all the West African countries, making their plans to head and take over Nigeria. The government is not concerned about this. But we in the Biafra land that we are demanding for our own nation, we have a legitimate demand of the defense or protection of our own land. We are asking for independence of our land. These terrorists has nothing to ask for. They have no request. All they want is to force people into their own ideology. They want to Islamize Nigeria by all means possible, including forcing those who are not part of their religion into the agenda. The government care not about it. Because today, the Asorok, today is under the terrorists. They have hijacked the Asorok. Asorok is being controlled by the terrorists today. Some of you forget so easily that the vice president you have there today is a terrorist, Shetima. This was the same man that established this organization you are seeing, Boko Haram, and all of them. He is part of them. He is part of them, including part of the bandits. The northern people, we always pay allegiance to these terrorists, and they don't want them. Some of you have forgotten. There was a time when people were calling for these terrorists to be profiled. The bandits, more especially, they should be profiled as terrorists. Nigerian government refused under Muhammad Buhari, and people, the northerners, came out. Even their clerics came out, and they were defending these terrorists. They were defending them. Some of them came to threaten the government that if they profile them, if they tag them terrorists, that will be the end of Nigeria. Some of you have forgotten that. I'm going to play it for you to remember. When the northern group with their spokesperson, Sheikh Gumi was threatening the federal government or profiling the bandits, these people you are seeing today, and they are now planning to take over completely. Some of us are still pretending as if we don't know what is happening. Let's watch that. It's a long time video. Let us refresh our memory on what the threat Shegumi made when the Zoological Republic government wanted to talk about when people were pressuring the government, when people were putting pressure on the government to profile the bandit terrorists. Because it is the same Boko Haram they renamed, they baptized them and gave them a name as bandit. The same terrorist group, they baptized them and gave them bandit so that they can allow them to begin to operate. And Shegumi came and stood on their defense that nobody should call them terrorists. Let's watch that video again.
Let's begin what's trending with a comment made by Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, who has condemned the push to designate bandits as terrorists. The Sheikh on Monday wrote a post on his Facebook page titled, "Declaring bandits as terrorists will come with a price." He said if President Muhammadu Buhari declares bandits as terrorists, it will mark the end of Nigeria as a sovereign and united entity. Well, according to him, once bandits are designated as terrorists, the direct foreign jihadist movements will come into force and give criminality a spiritual cover and remove the stigma of discrediting them with such crimes. Well, his comment has generated divergent views from many Nigerians. Let's take some tweets. This tweet is from Derry, who wrote, "Gumi just threatened the existence of Nigeria with terrorism, but this is not a one-off or a coincidence. He has unequivocally made his position known as the leader of terrorism, codenamed banditry. This just made mockery of terrorism charges against Sunday Igboho." While Yusuf wrote, "Chimatila Agu simply wore a jalabiya with Biafra symbol. He was ridiculed and tossed across various security agencies like Akara. Today, Gumi is telling the world that Nigeria will be destroyed if his client bandits are proscribed as terrorists." While author and activist Reno Omakri wrote, "Sheikh Gumi never speaks for the victims, but when terrorist bandits are affected, he speaks. How long shall a government that is after Igboho and Kano continue tolerating the PR work Gumi is doing for terrorist bandits? Gumi is an inspiration to these terrorists." I think that Reno Omakri's tweet hit the point right there, Tundu.
I think it really did, yes. Not only does Sheikh Gumi never speak for the victims, he actually referred to them in a manner that I find offensive and reprehensible. He made the point that talking about who's really innocent here and then society doesn't have the moral high ground, basically saying, you know, I hate victim blaming in any form that it takes. But he's basically saying the activities of the bandits is just desserts. Serves you right, Nigerians. This is what you get. That is reprehensible. I must stress. Now, to the other point that he made, it makes no sense, frankly. Terrorist organizations do not wait to be invited to the party. If they want to hijack the bandits and take them over and give them finance, give them training, they would do so.
Absolutely.
Look at how IMN was proscribed by the Nigerian government. Hezbollah, well, according to some, America, for instance, has been proscribed as a terrorist organization. Did Hezbollah rush to IMN to adopt them? No. So it doesn't always follow in that way. They have the same religious orientation even. It doesn't always follow. A terrorist organization can hijack the bandits without them being proscribed. It's all about them being a means to an end. It's got nothing to do with prescription. We'll now give them carte blanche to now come in. That point is completely nonsensical, frankly. So apart from being offensive, he didn't even make sense.
Absolutely.
So I really wonder what the point of what he was saying was.
Rufai, I thought his comments were inflammatory at a point where everyone is calling for the bandits to be, designated as terrorists. I mean, I thought it was just the wrong time for him to even say this.
You see, when somebody does not have logic in his thinking, he becomes stupid. Try to pick out the logic in that statement. All I see is there is a logical statement. Very, very sad. Are the bandits or the terrorists not getting foreign support already in this country? Did we not hear the day President Bolaji Akemi talked about reports of helicopters dropping by and bringing weaponry to these bandits or terrorists? Did we not hear of the sophisticated weapons they have? How did they get that? Do they make anti-aircraft guns in Nigeria? Somebody must have given those guns to them. Did we not hear how Recep Tayyip Erdogan talked about Turkish groups being here? Did we not see stories of international affiliations with ISWAP already? He has nothing to say. He has nothing to say. That's why he can't make sense of what he's saying. Like Tundu said, for baseless arguments.
But why is the government treating Sheikh Gumi with gloves? I mean, at this point, this guy has been known
if anything is going to encourage terrorist organizations, it will be that kid's gloves treatment.
And we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. I keep repeating. Because you are having people like Sheikh Gumi being advocates for disintegration of the country, and you are letting them walk free. In a country where we have to bring people together, and at the same time you are arresting the likes of Igboho, you are proscribing IPOB. But people are saying this, and you can't call them to order.
Absolutely
Please, if we want to build Nigeria, we have to collectively do it. This statement is wrong.
Absolutely.
If there's anything called the height of hate speech, this is the height of hate speech.
Absolutely.
Nobody is talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to fake independence to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. And we will question it with gun, we will question it with bomb, we will question it with civility, we will question it diplomatically, and we will question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. They will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years, after that we decide.
The video I just played from Arise Television is to take you back. When you see us calling Nigeria a terrorist government, it is not a premeditated, so it is not out of hate, it's not that we just want to make noise. It is a reality. The people you saw them showing their picture there, Sheikh Gumi, Muhammad Buhari, and your present vice president, these people are the ones sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. And they defend them in the open. They don't hide it. Sheikh Gumi, you see those commentators talking about in that Arise Television. Sheikh Gumi is still walking out free. He was never detained one day, not even for a second. A man that defended the terrorists in the open. But they are busy talking about Mazi Simon Ekpa. They are busy chasing Mazi Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa that is only pushing the agenda of the people. Only reminding them of something that was signed, that after 100 years, Nigeria will be dissolved and people go their separate ways. Our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa is only standing on illegal ground to pursue what is right. And they are calling for his head, right, left, and center. Their media is using him as a topic. But no matter what they say, the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Nigeria, will continue to wax strong. It is time to be free, and we must be free.
Israel Declaration of Independence. I want in Biafra, Africa die, and in Biafra, Africa will rise. Today, there are movements all over Africa to liberate Africa from neocolonialism. Biafra will not be exceptional. In 2011, Biafra became a charter member of the Organization of Emerging African States. And in December 2015, the Organization of the Emerging African States called on the Nigeria government to hold a referendum on Biafra self-determination within 90 days, including the option of the total independence as the Republic of Biafra, a transitional phase of not more than 180 days. My fellow Biafrans, it may surprise a lot of people to know that this actually happened. Nigeria ignored it. In 2016, the Organization for Emerging African States repeated the call for referendum as the sponsor of the All Biafran Conference of Accra, which took place in 2016. My fellow Biafrans, in October of 2020, the Organization of Emerging African States repeated its demand for referendum on Biafra self-determination to the government of Nigeria. All these calls were ruthlessly ignored by the Nigeria state. The Organization for Emerging African States, after deliberation, has endorsed the Biafra Republic Government in Exile self-referendum on Biafra for many, many reasons. And one of those reasons, or some of those reasons, are as follows. Nigeria refused to administer or permit a third party to conduct Biafra referendum. The organization also noted that the African Charter of Human and People's Rights guarantees the right to self-determination of everyone, including Biafra people.
In the midst of all the shenanigans we are hearing, the Biafran people are standing strong. Our Prime Minister have a mission to defend and protect every single Biafran. It does not matter what you believe or where you lay your trust. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your location. It doesn't matter your own ideology. The primary objective of the Biafran government under the command of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa is to defend every single Biafran wherever they are, including our visitors and enemies and friends. As long as you're in Biafran territory, obey simple instruction and you'll be protected. The only thing you can do as a Biafran today is to make sure you identify yourself with Biafra, any place you are. Identify yourself with Biafran government. They are the only defense you have. Today, you see your Anes and Duhinandama calling for prayer. prayer cannot save you. Chukwu Okike Abiyama have already answered our prayer through Mazen Nandika. And today, he's answering our prayer in Mazen Simon Ekpa. If you cannot support the Biafran government, no amount of prayer will save you. All you need to do today is support the Biafran government the best way you can, and you will be secured and protected. As we go further, I am going to share with you the discussion that is going on their own conventional media. Let us listen to what they are discussing on their conventional media, and we will come back and analyze what they are talking about.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still VOP this morning. The Simon Ekpa-led Biafra Republic government in exile, Brgie, has called on the Nigerian government to recognize the result of the self-referendum for Biafra's liberation. Ekpa, acting as the Prime Minister of Brgie, claimed that over 50 million people voted in favor of Biafra's independence, citing marginalization and other long-standing grievances as motivations for the referendum. He urged Nigeria to accept the outcome to avoid what he described as inevitable historic shame. This development follows Nigeria's defense headquarters' ongoing effort to engage the European Union, EU, in securing Simon Ekpa's extradition as tensions continue to rise over the Biafra movement's demand for self-rule. Ekpa has also extended an invitation to Nigerian officials to participate in the upcoming Biafran convention in Finland later this year. In another development, Simon Ekpa has also vowed to defend Canada-based Nigerian woman Amaka Patience Sonberger, who went viral for threatening to harm Yoruba and Edo people. Ekpa made this known in a statement on Thursday through his official X account, and his comment comes after Amaka Sonberger on Tuesday, through her TikTok account, released a video clip where she threatened to harm Yoruba or Edo individuals she encounters. Reacting to the matter, Ekpa stressed that the Biafran government would defend Sonberger. He further urged Sonberger not to panic for any reason at all. And with us in the studio this morning, we have Barrister Darlington Agumo. He will help us to x-ray this topic and help us make sense of it. Barrister Darlington, good morning.
Good morning, Fina, Moses, and
Chukwuma Okoro.
Good
well,
to have
Chukwuma is also, he has opinion on this, so we'll also be posing questions, throwing questions at Chukwuma as he will let us know his opinion on this. Well, he shared a bit of it when, about the Abike Dabiri era's involvement in all of this as it concerns Amaka. But we'll go deeper into, the Biafra conversation.
Now, Barrister, this issue of Biafra agitation, and now we have Simon Ekpa coming up to say that there's a referendum. 15 million people voted for self-rule for Biafra. What do you make of this? What does it really portend?
Yeah, Fina, if you ask me, the issue of Biafra and Simon Ekpa, it is the federal government of Nigeria that is fueling it.
Why do you say so?
We have given them suggestions on how to end this thing, but the federal government decided to look the other side. Whatever Simon Ekpa has become today, the federal government created and made it possible. Because if the Igbos in Nigeria, the Southeasterners, have been really integrated into Nigeria, if the insecurity in the Southeast has been taken care of, if the extortion going on there has been, taken care of, if the army of occupation in the Southeast has been removed, my dear, nobody will pay attention to Simon Ekpa. But as it is today, with the way you are treating the Igbos in Nigeria, with what happened during the last election, and so many other things that is well known to everybody, the people feel that they are not part of Nigeria.
So are you of the opinion that he's fighting in good faith now, fighting a good fight for the Igbos in Nigeria from what he's saying?
Look, whenever there is injustice, you don't even need to tell anybody. Dissent will just arise on its own. People will just feel disgruntled. When we go and check anywhere where there is injustice, the type that is going on in Nigeria, consciously, people will just become disgruntled.
But Barrister, you know that back in the history, let's take it a bit back, where the issue of agitation began when we have Ojukwu, led, and Aburi Accord and the statement that was made, Nigerians also did not honor that particular convention. Now, with this referendum that Mr. Simon Ekpa is talking about and the vote, do you really think Nigerian government will also give heed to it?
Whatever Simon Ekpa is doing, he's on his own.
Well, Barrister,
he's on his own because nobody have recognized him in Igbo land.
Okay, but you did say it's the government of Nigeria that has empowered Simon Ekpa to continue on this path. But is it the government of Nigeria that has consistently made Igbos in the southeast to sit at home on Mondays, an action that has continually affected economic growth in that region?
Moses, please, are you telling me that if Nnamdi Kanu is reduced today, this sit at home will continue?
But Nnamdi Kanu have come up to say, I am not the one responsible for this. And he also said that the sit at home actually happened not to be his order, but we have Simon Ekpa still.
In the consciousness of the Igbo man today, they are paying solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu because of the...
You have just heard what is going on in their own media. And of course, you will always see those lost sons of the Biafrans talking from both sides of their mouth. You see them challenging the referendum of the Biafran people, where more than 50 million people have voted. And they think that they are ranting on the media will underestimate the power of the referendum. It is not possible. The referendum is going to be getting stronger and stronger than you can ever imagine. The referendum have given Mazi Simon Ekpa the authority to defend Biafra land. And that clown is saying that nobody is listening to Mazi Simon Ekpa, nobody is supporting Simon Ekpa. He's just deceiving himself. And this is what they do. When they come to media, they come to deceive themselves. But the reality on the ground, if any international journalist is listening, if any investigative journalist is listening, go on the ground in Biafra land, make interview by yourself, go and verify and find out who is in charge in Biafran territory. Biafran government is in charge. And as we speak, there is a 30 days lockdown going on. 30 days lockdown going on. And all the ministries of the government of Nigeria, their barracks, will be under lock and key. If you doubt it, go on the ground and investigate. Be an investigative journalist. Go out there and verify for yourself and then bring out the information to the world. We will continue to expose their idiocy. And while they continue to push their propaganda and blackmail, we'll be here watching them and we will decimate all their information. Let us listen to the other part of that very idiotic discussion.
John is losing. Is it economically okay for that region and for Nigerian government?
Fina, the day we had a protest for one day and we lost 400 billion naira. On the day we didn't do the protest and gain 400 billion naira, what did we do with the 400 billion?
Take it back again to the southeast, Mr. Chikuma. These people have been sitting at home for so many months. It's even getting to years now.
Fina, this issue about the fundament is not accidental. It speaks to the fundamental existence of a people. A people in a union who says, look, this is what we want. This is what we want.
So now that we have Simon Ekpa talking about how 50 million people have voted for a referendum, self-rule for Biafra, Mr. Chikuma, do you think that this revolt or this vote or this result that Simon Ekpa projected will actually speak to the Nigerian government?
You see, the referendum conducted by Simon Ekpa, I don't know how he conducted it. I didn't vote. I've asked a few people, they didn't vote too.
Okay.
So how it will affect... See, the thing about it is that the tension in the land, when it keeps rising like this and government keeps ignoring it, and I also say that in countries that have unraveled, it is because the government at the center refuse to listen to the yearnings and aspirations of the people, the demands of the people. The government could be having its way every other day, but it will get to a point where this conflict would spin out of control. And when it spins out of control, what do you have? You have war, you have anarchy and all of that. And nobody wants to travel that route again. Nobody wants to travel that route again. So beyond this, what I expect the government to do, look, put in referendum as an article in our constitution. Fina, let me tell you, in all honesty, in all sincerity, if you conduct a referendum today, if you conduct a referendum and ask people from the Southeast whether they want to remain part of the union or not, I'm very sure a whole lot of people will say we want to remain in Nigeria.
That is
All
what
right, then. So let me bring it back to Barrister now. Let me play the ping pong over to you now. Is it what do you make of the fact that this individual, Simon Ekpa, who is who also resides in Finland and has the Finnish passport, is calling for, calling the Foreign Minister Yusuf Tuga and other government officials to come? This is an individual that the government of Nigeria is also trying to repatriate, bring back to Nigeria to answer for things that his words have caused in Nigeria. What do you make of that invitation?
That will tell you that Simon Ekpa is on his own. He's actually exhibiting a useful exuberance, because I don't see how any Nigerian official will honor such.
I hate to interrupt you. I hate to interrupt your train of thought there, but you did say he's on his own. Well, Chukwuma, who is seated right beside you,
it's his own opinion.
Is of the opinion that Simon Ekpa, like it or not, speaks to the larger desires of those in the southeast.
Look,
but I also talked about his methods.
Hold on. Whatever he is speaking is immaterial. The question is, are the Igbos supporting him? You heard when the Vanessa spoke against him. They went to Aso Rock under Buhari's regime to tell him to bring this guy home so that he can answer for charges. Did anybody do that? Otherwise, I told that Simon Ekpa is exhibiting useful exuberance, because whatever he's doing in Finland should be done here, in Eastern region, in Igbo land. He cannot form a government for the Igbos in Finland. And as I've always told people, it is the society that prepares the crime. Then the criminal commits it. We have said this severally, and the facts are there.
Are you insinuating that the government is intentionally reluctant to expedite Simon Ekpa?
If not, why not? Moses, let me give you the template here. When this thing started, remember, Simon Ekpa was disowned by IPOB. Remember, up to tomorrow, IPOB have told you they don't know him. He's not acting for him. And that their leader is Nnamdi Kanu. So why didn't the federal government exploit that option and release Nnamdi Ekpa to cut off Nnamdi Kanu? Release Nnamdi Kanu to cut off Simon Ekpa. Because if Nnamdi Kanu come out today, nobody will mention the name of Simon Ekpa. Quote me. If Nnamdi Kanu come out today, that name, Simon Ekpa, will become irrelevant.
But he's still the one making calling the shot in the southeast for the sit-at-home order that Nnamdi Kanu come up to say no, he's not the one championing.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
So do you also still think nobody will remember him from the way it's going?
Look, you cannot decide for the Igbo man from abroad. It's not possible.
But they still understand and they adhere to
I have told you that the sit-at-home on Mondays is a solidarity for Nnamdi Kanu's continuous detention. Right. If you are doubting me, release Nnamdi Kanu and see whether
somehow enabling it. Can I step in?
Now you have heard the discussion that is good, and you can see the idiotic people. They are not very difficult to find. Look at that man. Look at how he is so bitter about the success of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Look at the kind of lies, propaganda that is coming from his mouth. Look at the way he's condemning Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an angel. He is your this, he is your that. But it is the same you that contributed money to go and kidnap him. Look at him, President Ohaneze, for calling for the extradition of Mazi Simon Ekpa, and he was bold to say that they went to Asarok to ask Asarok to go and kidnap Mazi Simon Ekpa. This idiot that is speaking is an Igbo man. Look at how he's so happy, and he's saying that the IPOB have denounced Mazi Simon Ekpa. And this idiot have failed to understand that IPOB is no longer existing. There is nothing called IPOB anywhere as an organization. IPOB as an organization is dead and buried. What we have today is Biafran government with a massive vote of 50 million people across the world. But idiotic people like this will always prefer to toe their own line. They will always prefer to continue to push their own ignorance and their own lies. They will continue to force their own evil ideology to people, even when they have nothing to offer. You can see how bitter he is. Even as we see the Mazi Nnamdi we are talking about today, it is because of Mazi Simon Ekpa. That is why Mazi Nnamdi is remembered and can never ever be forgotten. Mazi Simon Ekpa himself have said it that Mazi Nnamdi will remain the leader of the Biafran people wherever he is. As long as he's alive, he remains our leader. Mazi Simon Ekpa reveres Mazi Nnamdi as his leader. And everything that Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing today is keeping the legacy of Mazi Nnamdi. But yet, idiots will come on their conventional media and they will begin to talk down on a man who is keeping the legacy of the person they say that they love. This is how their love is. This is the kind of love they have for Mazi Nnamdi, to destroy his legacy, to make sure that whatever Mazi Nnamdi is asking for can never ever come to pass. These are the idiotic Janjaweed. These are the Afonjas in Igbo land. Look at them. Look at the way he was speaking. So bold, and you see the hatred in him, painted all over him. You want to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi from Finland. An impossible mission. It will never ever happen. It doesn't continue to make yourself happy by dreaming about that. When you go to bed, you dream about it and make yourself happy. When you wake up in the morning, you wish yourself it will happen. You just close your eyes and assume, oh, Mazi Simon Ekpa will be kidnapped, and you'll be happy. If that is what will make you happy, continue to dream of that. It will never happen as long as Chukwu Okike is on the throne. Mazi Simon Ekpa has not committed any crime known to man. He has not committed any crime international. That is why these idiotic people cannot even apply their common sense. Even if you don't read, you don't understand. Ask yourself, why is it that Mazi Simon Ekpa have continued to stay strong on Twitter, where the whole world gather, where the world powers gather, where people that matters gather? They see every of his comment and his impute, yet he has not been taken down. If you don't know that Mazi Simon Ekpa is lawful, that should tell you that what he's doing is lawful. Twitter does not support illegality. Twitter does not support illegal things. For Mazi Simon Ekpa to continue to trend on Twitter, the highest trending platform on Twitter, and yet he's not taken down, you should know that he's taking the right path. Your envy, your jealousy cannot stop him. He has said that Mazi Simon Ekpa cannot stay in abroad and form government for Igbo man. The idiot that is speaking on that studio, ask him, what has he done to protect his own region? What has he done to protect his own immediate family? What has he done to protect them? What organization has he formed to defend the people? None. The only thing they are quick to do is to deny their people. These are members of Ohanese. Look at him defending Ohanese. These are the people who are quick to deny their own people. The same Ohanese contributed money to kidnap the Mazi Nnamdi today they are talking about. Ohanese sponsored the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi and they were in support. And today, you look at them talking rubbish. My fellow Biafrans, every one of us must continue to support our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. No matter what happens, we will stand behind him, beside him. Come sun, come rain, at any given point in time, we will be with him. We must never, ever, ever run away from being with our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. He is the Messiah, and he must be respected, and he must be followed at all times.
My fellow Biafrans, I want to inform you that today we have a very high-level meeting with developers that are already interested in building more than Dubai in Biafra land. I am just overwhelmed and too happy this evening that such is happening. That is the dream I have for the Biafra people. A lot of investors are already coming, knocking at our door. When are we coming? When are we coming? Is it after December? When should we start? The investment they are running, those investors that are running away from Nigeria, they are knocking at our door. And I promise them that from the December 2nd, we are going to have a very long way, because I know Nigeria is not going to give up very easily. But one thing I promise them is that it doesn't matter how long it takes. If it takes us 10 years to fight Nigeria after December 2nd, we are ready. If it takes us 20 years to fight Nigeria after December 2nd, we are ready.
I want you to hear a message from Mazen Nandekano. The same Mazen Nandekano these idiotic people are talking about. The same Mazen Nandekano they want to deassociate from Mazen Simon Ekpa. I want you to hear what he has said, for you to know that Mazen Simon Ekpa is the only true disciple of Mazen Nandekano keeping his legacy. Hear from Mazen Nandekano.
And we are not going to stop. I want the world to understand me very clearly. We are not going to stop. It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter how many lives they extinguish. It doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies they bring with them into our land. We are not going to stop. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody remotely interested in justice and peace must understand this. Our destination is freedom, and that very place we're heading to is Biafra. And nobody, no soul on this earth can stop us. Instead of Biafra not to come, we all perish. I want our adversaries, our enemies to understand this very, very clearly. We are not going to retreat, not one iota, not 1 inch, because Biafra must come. Because the hatred has continued to this very day. As I'm speaking and addressing all of you right now, they are still arresting, extrajudicially murdering people in our land, people who are alien to our culture, our way of life, our tradition. They are in our land directing their people to slaughter, to kill without mercy. Unfortunately, those we regard as political leaders have connived with these people to ensure the decimation of their own population. That is the type of nonsense we can no longer condone. As you all know, there is no significant Fulani presence in our land because our fathers taught us how to fight. And we are doing so today without apologies to any idiot. We're not going to apologize because we have been apologizing for nearly 50 years. And we have not gotten anywhere in terms of our collective advancement and development in the damnable zoological republic called Nigeria. That is why we must continue what we're doing. And that is why anybody who is remotely interested in the affairs of our people must understand this, that we are determined. Doubly determined. 50 years, or should I say 54 years, is a very long time, and 51 years since the end of the war. But now that we have come, or should I say now that God Almighty in heaven has determined that we should come, we are not going to relent. We are not going to do anything whatsoever to jeopardize the sanctity and the holiness of this very mission. We love our people. We love every ethnic nationality that makes up Nigeria as it is presently constituted. We have no hatred towards anybody. We love peace. We love life. We love the progress of other people, but we are in a country where people hate us for no reason, where people despise us for no reason, and we can no longer go on apologizing. And Nigeria as a state, the entire Africa as a continent must acknowledge. The same way they acknowledge the genocide in Rwanda, they must rise up to acknowledge the genocide in Biafra land, or else there will be no peace nor development in the whole of Africa. And I'm not saying it apologetically. I am stating a fact that ought to be forcefully demanded for. And Biafra itself must be restored for those who have come before us, for their sacrifice, for their courage, for their gallantry, and their bravery. It is a very good thing today that one of the co-hosts here is our brother Dele, a man that I cherish and I appreciate very much. And also the very excellent work that Mazi is doing. But let us make this thing very, very clear. We are wronged by the Nigerian state, by every ethnic group in Nigeria. I know that my good friend and brother, Obadiah Mailafia, rang me and apologized a while ago for the role that they played in the massacre of Biafran people, the role that they played in aiding and abating a very unlawful invasion of Biafra land, because all Ojukwu asked for was restructuring. The same thing we are arguing for today. Ojukwu went to Aburi to argue for restructuring. Ojukwu did not go to Aburi to declare any state of Biafra. He never went to Aburi to declare any war. Ojukwu went to Aburi so that all of us in Nigeria, including those from the Middle Belt, from the West, everywhere can have freedom. There's something we're asking for today. They twisted the narratives. They changed our history. They turned it upside down. They made us the villain. They tried to demonize our general, a man of peace that went to Aburi in Accra to go and in Ghana to go and negotiate for peace. A peace that Britain prevailed upon Gowon not to implement. But over the years, we've been taught that we are the aggressors. Such nonsense can no longer hold, it can no longer obtain, and that is why, as I said earlier, unapologetically, we are pursuing the freedom of Biafra, and nobody can stop us. Anybody on our path
to then start comprehending the concept or the ideology that drives the insanity that is Boko Haram. In the north, you have the areas you call the Mohammedan Emirates of the North. These are people who are predominantly, by ancient culture and tradition, Islamic. They are Hausa, Fulani people. In the west, coming down near Lagos, you have the Yoruba people, and in the east you have the Biafran people. Now, the Hausa Fulani people, we are told by the British that they have the right to rule in perpetuity Nigeria. The British in 1953 and 57 were involved in a massive fraud to rig the census results. In other words, they skewed the numbers to always favor the Hausa Fulani people that they may remain in power. And the reason for that is that the British is scared that Biafran people, especially the Igbos, are somehow human, that we can think properly. And we have the oil. The oil wells the reserves, everything is where we come from.
In Biafra.
And the British couldn't retain or sustain their colonial presence in Africa because the USA asked them to leave. So what they now did is to take the control of the oil, hand it over to a group of people they think they can manipulate very easily. That's all. That's what has happened. And now they now believe that they have the right to rule. Unfortunately for them, President Goodluck Jonathan, the incumbent, a man, that we respect that. What most commentators don't appreciate about Africa, and which most Africans are a bit slightly uncomfortable with, is that somebody coming from Europe, and without regard for your culture, your traditions, your way of life, saying, you are now in one country and your name is Nigeria.
Right.
There is something unnatural about it.
Yes.
I said to the British government, if you had come, conquered my people, which is a natural human process, that is entirely natural.
Right.
If you had come, conquered our people, made us English, I can live with that.
Yeah.
But to come and hand over a children of God over to something completely alien, this same culture that we have in the north, which is an Islamic culture.
My fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you are watching us from, I appreciate every one of you on this platform, but we are going to end this program here because our Prime Minister, as we speak now, is holding a fundraising. Our fundraising is ongoing now on Zoom. I want every one of us to connect to that fundraising. This is to support the Biafra Defense Force. You know that the responsibility of Defense Force have increased and they need to be supported. As we speak, as you are watching me, the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Israel, is on fundraising. And every one of us have to go to the link now and click on the platform of our Prime Minister on X. I am going to connect to that program here. I will switch over to that program. I'm going to end this program and we will go over to that one and start up the program. The fundraising is going on as we speak and our Prime Minister is there. And I hope he's going to address Biafran people. You're going to address us as always. You know, whenever he comes, there's always a bombshell. We are going to end this program and we are going to switch over to that fundraising. Every one of us must try to connect through the Zoom. The Zoom link is on our Prime Minister platform on X. Go to X, you will see the Zoom link. You will click the Zoom link and you will enter into the program live. When you enter into the program live, you can ask your question, you can make your donation on that fundraising. It is very important. This is one of the programs that we must not play with. That is why I am ending this program now. I'm going to end this program. We are going to continue this exposition tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will continue from where we start. I still have a lot of videos to play, but I cannot continue because of that fundraising that's going on. We can't have a divided house. Every one of us on this platform, we have to move. Go now, click the link. If you want to be in that Zoom, inside the Zoom, click the link on the platform of our Prime Minister on X. You click the link, you will see yourself in the Zoom, and you can be able to make your contribution and ask your question. And again, I am going to stream it here also. As soon as I end this program, I will switch over so that every one of us can connect. Those who cannot be able to go into the Zoom can be able to watch and hear directly from our Prime Minister. I appreciate every one of us that has participated. May Chukwu continue to guide us. We are going to win. No matter what they are trying to do, they can never stop us. Neither can they stop our Prime Minister. The zoo has ended. And that is the reality of today.
The zoo has fallen. The zoo has fallen. Finally, the zoo has fallen. If you do not know that the zoo has fallen, check around yourself. Check around you. My fellow Biafrans, I want to inform you that today we have a very high-level meeting with developers that are already interested in building more than Dubai in Biafra land. I am just overwhelmed and too happy this evening that such is happening. That is the dream I have for the Biafra people. A lot of investors are already coming, knocking at our door. When are we coming? When are we coming? Is it after December? When should we start? The investment they are running, those investors that are running away from Nigeria, they are knocking at our door. And I promise them that from the December 2nd, we are going to have a very long way, because I know Nigeria is not going to give up very easily. But one thing I promise them is that it doesn't matter how long it takes. If it takes us 10 years to fight Nigeria after December 2nd, we are ready. If it takes us 20 years to fight Nigeria after December 2nd, we are ready.
Nigeria has recruited Islamic State fighters into their military, police, and other forces to continue the holy war of Islam against indigenous people, and Biafra government in exile can't sit back and watch Nigeria state kill Biafra unchallenged. Therefore, the government which uses force to support its rules teaches the oppressed to use force to oppose it. We will continue to justify our decision to engage in sabotaging and hostility against terrorists in uniform until they are withdrawn completely from Biafra territory from the 14th United States of Biafra.
I am not a pushover, and I believe Nigeria have seen that. If you think that Simon Ekpa is somebody you can push over, then you don't know me. I am here to end Tinubu. I am here to end Nigeria. I'm here to end the Usman Danfodio legacy. I will end it. The people who have ended it in their different countries doesn't have to head. I am going to be more than any of all those people who have fought freedom, including Gandhi. I am here to be more than Gandhi. Gandhi did not even fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. Nelson Mandela did not fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. And so I brought out myself, I'm well cooked for this particular freedom. So anybody thinking that Simon Ekpa is going down, you don't know what is coming. You still have a long way to go. I will be here to finish this job, and by December, I will issue a declaration for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra, and the flag of Biafra will rise very, very high all over the world. That day, every liaison office all over the world of Biafra will rise the Biafra flag very, very high. We will raise it very, very high from homeland to all over the world. And then after that, the diplomatic battle will begin for recognition of Biafra government.
Nigeria mumbotombo. If I naku Nigeria mumbotombo. Brokotombo. If I naku ndilo mumbotombo. Ebon. Woto woto. Ebon. Woto woto. Ebon. Woto woto. Ebon. Woto woto. Mbajo my freedom, I'll get my cow. 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 Nigerian government is evil. It's evil. Nigerian government is a killer. Yes, it's killer. Nigerian government is a murderer. Sure, they are murderers. Monkey carry money, money. Python swallow money, money. What you know go here? What you know go here now? Everybody quiet, quiet. All the youths are quiet, quiet. Musicians are quiet, quiet. Nollywood are quiet, quiet. Biafra government take illegal. Biafra government take illegal. Simon take illegal. Akumba walobo. Akumba. Onyane kunweli foneme. Oba Tokye. New dimension. Yes. Multi-dimensional approach. Yes, sir. Ije. Yes, sir. Ebon. Woto. Ebon. Kubafa. Woto. Ebon. Kubafa. Woto. Mbajo my freedom, I'll get my cow. 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 For many years you've been killing us. Many years you've been slaving us. For broad daylight you killed us. Fuaba, Obigo, Okuama, Fabakeleke, Mbo, Enugu, Ehamufuna. Thank you my mama, thank you my papa, thank you my civilization. For by yes sir. Don't they kill us? Don't rivers of fire. Yes. Don't they kill us? I can make one day a little. You can't kill us again and go free. At this time, I never watch you. Equal people have a taco. Different spirit. You the pushers. You go push you. You go fight us. We go fight you. At the end, the Biafra got to lay down. Ebon, woto. Ebon, woto. Ebon, woto. Mbajo my freedom, I'll get my cow. 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 Nigeria government, let Biafra go. Biafra never go. Biafra never go. One day Biafra to go down. Biafra to go down. If you love Biafra, or you be a Biafra, raise your hand in the air. The let you go to Biafra. Live for them, man. Yes. Anya Nabagoni, Biafra Nabagoni, Biafra to go down. Anwa Jabagoni, Biafra Nabagoni, Biafra Nabagoni, Anwa Jabagoni, Biafra to go down. Can I get an